So he stayed at the store. Two guys walked in.
Yeah.
Out of circa 1988 or 1992. One of them looked like kind of like a small Axl Rose. He's about 35 pounds wet.
Yeah.
And the other guy's just looks homeless pretty much too. They wander around the store forever. And I ask them if I can help them, and they act like they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So finally they come back around. They still look lost. And at this point I can smell the pot on them. Heavy.
Yeah.
And I've never smoked pot, but I could definitely tell
But
that
you
they
were
were
in
covered
NAMM,
in.
and you smelled it before.
Right. And so I was like, sure I can't help you guys with anything? And yeah, you can. We're looking for Star Wars Stratego. And in my head I was going, you missed that boat by about 14 years when the prequels came
But
out there, buddy.
if any place had it,
We
your
would
place
have it?
would have it, I would think. Well, you're a geek store. You've got games and you've got comics.
I said, are you looking for a used copy? And he goes, whatever we can find, man.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I was just laughing. I was like, man, you're not going to have any luck on that. And then Axl Rose and his compadre, they went out the door. It was just weird.
Yeah, my dad always used that excuse. He goes, oh, yeah, I never smoked it. But in Vietnam, all the guys did, and I learned what it smelled like. As I got older, I'm like, wait, Dad was in Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco in 1968. He went to the park and saw Janis Joplin and
he
all
never
those other
smoked
people.
it.
He may not have. I don't know if he ever did, actually.
Another cool story about the comic store.
Yeah.
I had some Magic players. They were obviously fairly...
Large.
At least they they weren't large. This guy was actually tall. His girlfriend was cute, but they looked unclean, like most Magic players. I just spent my $3 on this Divine Right card or my Emerald Dragon before.
They're all kind of like addicts. They're like, oh, I've only got $5. Just give me one more pack, man.
This guy didn't understand.
I need my hit.
He doesn't play on Friday Night Magic or anything else. He's just a casual player.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, let me ask you a question. He's like, there's a card over here that came out in a Planes Chase set, which is a set that, just came out a couple years ago. He said there was two of them in the deck. And he goes, now that card's $15 each. He goes, how does that work? He's like, he goes, when the set was new, it was $30. And I said, yeah. I said, but as demand goes up for cards, the prices increase, until people stop paying that much for them. I said, so there must be a demand for that card. He's like, but there was two of them in that deck. And they're $15 each. He goes, so somebody could have bought that and then sold these two for $15 and kept every other card. And I was like, yes. He goes, I just don't understand that. And I go, well, you buy a pack for $4 and you could get a $20 card out of it instantly.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. But how can it? And I was like, do you not understand the demand for this card?
No, you don't get it. If the company knows that, then why would they sell it like that? They'd hold on to them.
We had a 15-minute discussion over this.
Wow.
And I kept going back to, the packs. I said, well, the packs are only $4.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you get a card that some people will be willing to pay more for.
I guess his argument is that it's a set deck. So therefore, if they were worth more, then they should charge more, I'm guessing.
I guess so, because it
There's a
blew
little
his
logic to
mind.
that.
And I was like, I said, but you got to remember, it came out 2 years ago. So there's none of those sitting around.
Yeah.
And it just totally blew his mind. I don't know.
Tales from the comic shop.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I already hit record.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm sure people would love to hear that.
It's only about 4 minutes of rambling.
Oh, talking bad about customers.
Do
like an episode of Clerks.
Oh, we should do that. We could make a whole new movie.
This episode's awesome. I love my job except for the customers or whatever quote that was that I messed up.
But next door is a medical clinic now, but there's also the Thai place. So you could have a Thai girl come in and barely speak English and make fun of you.
The Thai people do not deliver your food anymore, too.
They don't?
If you walk down there and order food and tell them, like, hey, I'm working the shop, and I just spent $12 on your overexpensive pad thai, they will not walk it down for you.
And they didn't... Did they get new management or something?
Yes, they did.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So anyways, they're mean now.
Well, it's agents for you.
Anyways, welcome to Both Down.
Do we want to keep this as an opening?
I guess.
Because I don't know what episode this is.
This is episode
16, I think.
I think it is 16.
Why am I opening up a web browser? I was going to go to the website. Not that I have the files on my computer or anything. Episode 16 of Both Down.
We're really prepared. So welcome to Both Down, episode 16. The
Continue that, and I finish it.
The number one Blood Bowl podcast.
Now I will say that's Uncut, as you can tell.
Why don't you explain that to everybody?
Yeah, so we had a couple people wondering, do you do a lot of editing on these podcasts? I was like, yeah, I do. It takes me about, 3-5 hours, something like that, just depending on the podcast.
And some people in our home league kind of like said bullcrap on that. It can't take that long.
Yeah, so we're going to leave this one uncut.
Totally uncut.
Yes.
You're not even cut out me coughing?
No, that was where the majority of my time was cutting up Scott coughing. Literally.
So you caught me off guard by just going ahead and hitting the record button?
Right, and he hasn't coughed yet.
I haven't coughed yet, so now...
It's a psychological thing. Anytime we tell him that we're going to record, he has to cough. So yes, it's going to be completely uncut. See, there's a cough.
I know,
it's
killing me.
But while it's uncut, I think we will make just a couple of stops just to save.
Ooh.
There's a table hit.
Sorry about that.
See, that's something we'd cut out. But, yeah, we'll stop a couple times just to save, because if it goes too long and I don't save, we might lose everything. And then you'd be...
Then you just get a half an episode.
Yeah. Not that anyone would complain.
So are you going to do this all the time? If this goes well, are we going to do it all the time? No? This is a one-time deal?
Well, I would love to, actually. It'd be a lot easier.
It sure would.
But it wouldn't be as professional.
Are you saying we're professionals?
Hell no. If we were professional, we'd have better segments this month.
No, this is actually...
I'll warn people, this is a tournament-heavy episode, because we've been busy with stuff for Orclahoma and Spiky, so...
Well, we've been busy. I've hosted a tournament, Cricket Bowl last month. And we have some big tournaments coming up, and this is our podcast. And we have a big 2-day event in March, so it's perfectly fine that we talk all about tournaments this episode.
Yeah, so we're going to still do 3 segments and then shout-outs. First segment's going to be talking about Cricket Bowl, which we just had. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to talk about Orclahoma Bowl, a little more in-depth, and then Spiky Cup.
That's right, and all the goodness that comes with those events.
See, before we get there, anything exciting Blood Bowl happen? They've been releasing some previews of Sudden Death.
They have, and I asked my shop, the same shop I was griping about in the opening segment.
No, you're griping about the people that go to the shop, not the shop.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I'd like a wood chipper just to pick them up, throw them in. Anyways, he said that he has ordered plenty of expansions for us.
Oh, really?
And
when is it supposed to come in?
He didn't know Sunday when I briefly talked to him, but he said that usually if Fantasy Flight is advertising them on their site, then it's due out soon. So,
well, I'm really hoping they come out before the tournament.
Because you want to give out another one, don't you?
I mean, we're giving away one game. I want to give away an expansion.
I know you do. But there's nothing wrong with that.
But also, then I can try to butter up Jay Little and be like, hey, man,
hey, man,
expansions
your boys
are coming out. You want to hook us up?
Hey, let your boys in.
Yeah.
Give us some of that.
We can
try. Sweet stuff. Any other news? We're almost done with our home league.
Yeah, we got one more week to go with that.
Yeah, what I think is funny, and I don't know if you're out there and you play in other leagues, especially leagues with set schedules.
No, I'm right here, and I only play in this league.
I'm talking to everybody else out there.
Okay.
Uncut.
Yes.
I find it funny, and I'm just curious, in you guys' leagues, where it's kind of loose, where you don't have to play your game in 1 week, like our home league, do people slow down like the last 2 weeks because they're too scared to play their games because they'll knock them out of playoff contention?
Or because it doesn't matter.
Right. Because every season we cruise along, and then our week 8, because we only play an 8-week schedule, is so slow.
Yeah.
We've had at least 10 days for people to play their games, and we've had one person play their game.
Technically 2 people, but yes, one game has
been played. One game's been played. I'm sorry. Yeah. And it really had no implication on the playoffs.
Not really.
Yeah.
No. Well, it could have, but...
I doubt it happens.
Yeah.
So,
other than that, well, I guess I played in the Cyanide League with Extreme. And beat him for nothing.
For nothing, huh?
And he complained about Cyanide. And I have never seen that game glitch until I went multiplayer.
I've heard this.
And it's been glitching a lot.
I've heard people say that there's like extra players and stuff.
Yeah, I had 12 people on the field at one time. So
that's handy.
It is. And he used a wizard and was able to use it twice. So that's, for some reason, that's a common theme with me on video games, is that people get to use a wizard more than once.
Didn't you play Johnny on Fumble and the same thing happened? Mm-hmm.
He got to use a wizard as many times as he wanted until all my people were down. That was exciting.
That's efficient.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great use of a wizard.
It was awesome. It wouldn't let me switch out players. So, like, I had a couple of blitzers in the box. Mm-hmm. I wanted to put them on the field. It wouldn't let me switch them. So I had to start a drive just messed up, basically.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
This must be why, since I don't have the Cyanide game, that I hear a lot of complaints about it online.
Yeah, there's a lot of complaints about the glitchiness, about the AI and the regular player. See? That's
hear
a cough.
That cough? That's uncut.
Yep.
All right.
It's going to bug me not to cut this, but...
I know.
Yeah.
Anything else going on? Anything?
Had a meeting about a potential local league in stores coming up.
All right. Well, when you get some more info on that, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but
it's a teaser, right? Might be some league play coming to the stores in the Oklahoma City area.
Hopefully.
Okay.
At least New World.
Okay, that sounds good.
Anything for you?
Not really. I would like to say something exciting, but I've actually got my big boy pants on since our friend Spence moved out of town, moved to the great state of Idaho. He was the guy who used to assemble all our models and pin them and glue them together in green stuff. And I haven't assembled a model ever until about 3 nights ago when, well, I guess actually 2 nights ago, when I got my big boy pants on, got my green stuff out, and I actually put together like an ice troll and Slim McCam and some other little models.
Cool.
I know it's just like gluing one arm on, but I still did it.
And you've been playing Blood Bowl how long?
For a long, long time.
Wow.
I try to avoid models that you have to assemble.
Yeah.
And I don't...
Part of the reason we haven't broken into Dreadball yet. Look at all those models, I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, I don't want to put those together either.
And we've been busy.
Well, yeah, that's true. All right.
Hey, well, we're going to end up
how are we doing this? Are we going to end this segment?
Yeah, we'll end this segment.
Okay. You going to play some music? Are you going to hum?
Oh, I might throw in some music. I don't know. Because that's technically not editing. It's just dropping something in, I guess.
Okay.
But we're going to stop it right here for a second just so we can save it. And now we're back. And I already saved it.
That's quick?
Yeah.
It worked.
Doesn't take much.
See? That's what unediting does. Or not editing or whatever.
Sure.
Lack of editing.
I like that. So first segment.
Let's talk about some Critter Bowl.
Which was what?
This was a tournament that we held in January 19th of this year. Mm-hmm. And it's actually the first tournament that we always claim that we run these tournaments. And truth be told, Steve so far has always been the guy behind the computer.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
It's been getting better, I guess.
And so this is the first time that I said, I want to run this tournament. I want to fully run it so Steve doesn't have to worry about anything. We had limited space, so we only had room up to 16 players at our venue. And because they already had some other events scheduled. And this was a tournament for our friend who was having a baby. Mm-hmm. So it was actually like our version of a baby shower.
Right.
We're going to have a fun tournament. We had some pizza come in. And all the entry fees actually went to him to help him and his family with the baby. And
there were no prizes aside from just some certificates.
Everything was in a certificate format, so if you got first or third, it still was a certificate. But we had a lot of fun. Yeah. I will say that at first, personally, we only had 8 people. We had room for 16, but we only had 8 people sign up. We had some drive as far away as Tulsa, which is a 2.5-hour drive. Depends how fast you drive.
It's about an hour and a half.
Fine.
Okay, I'm
going to edit that out.
No.
It depends. From Norman? Just depends how fast you drive. Okay, it's closer to...
If you're a grandmother, maybe.
Well, maybe...
From Norman, maybe 2 hours.
Just depends.
Okay.
Let's not argue about this. Not on air, Steve.
Too late.
Not
Too late.
Not in front of the kids.
Where?
Stay on target.
That is not a new catchphrase.
Oh, it can't be?
No.
Golly.
That's annoying.
I wish you could get Porkins and edit him in.
Oh, crap. We should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh. See how this works?
Wow. We did it again.
I know, this is the second time. I'm Scott Prime, and with me is Kilowoggy Steve.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so there you go. People, we got that out of the way.
People know us or they don't. Whatever.
Golly, that means somebody made it through like 10 minutes, and they go, this is horrible. This is the worst Blood Bowl show ever. And it's like, well, buddy, there's only 2 rounds still, so suck it up. All right, so we did Critter Bowl, and we only had 8 people show up, and at first I was kind of disappointed. But I also realized the timing of the event, and a lot of people actually said that just for, different circumstances. It was
technically a holiday weekend, too, which we didn't think about.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's the Epiphany.
The Epiphany?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had the Epiphany going on. And anyways, we only had 8 people. I was kind of disappointed just because I wanted to raise more money for this guy, and I wanted to try just have more people there.
Sure.
Because with 8 people running 4 rounds seems like a lot of Blood Bowl.
And it kind of was.
And so since there was only 8 people there, though, I did poll everybody there. And I know some of these guys don't play in a home league or any type of league. And we had a few people that said they just want to play all 4 rounds of Blood Bowl, so we went with it.
Mm-hmm.
We just said, sure. And we took, since there was only 8 of us, we also took just standings. So wherever you finished, and we went by strength of schedule as a tiebreaker.
And points, yeah.
Yeah, we had points. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and 0 for a loss.
Yeah. And since it was only 8, we both got to play.
Yes. Yeah, that was part of the deal.
Yeah.
Is I wanted to play as well. So 8 people was not overwhelming, and it turned out
Why would it be overwhelming?
Well,
it's only
I was
people.
worried that there was going to be 16, and since I've never sat behind the computer and used the score program, that I might get overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
8 was no problem whatsoever, and it turned out to be a great, fun day. And it's not because of the results of the tournament, but...
Oh, no. Not for me anyway.
We had a good core of guys. I think some guys learned some things that they just weren't used to, or they were maybe taught Blood Bowl a different way.
Yeah.
I think some guys learned that they need to play faster, and so on and so on. But I thought we had a lot of fun, and I thought we could just kind of break down round by round like how our teams did, and then we'll just talk about who did what.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I got all those stats right here. So hold on.
Good, because I don't remember what my team name was.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem.
Well, I decided to play goblins since I'd never had, and our buddy Sarge always plays goblins, and he was going to loan it to Kevin, one of our other guys. So, since Kevin decided not to use them, I decided to borrow Sarge's goblins, and they're painted like clowns. So, I went with...
There you go.
Here we go. Frères Diable Cirque Ambulette de Blood Bowl.
Which means like I ate all the French fries with gravy on them.
No, that'd be poutine, isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know what language that is.
It's French. It's the Devil's Brothers Traveling Blood Bowl Circus.
Okay.
And the reason I named it that is because Sarge also runs our Call of Cthulhu game.
Okay.
And in there, my character, Tinkles Willoughby, used to be a clown for the Devil's Brothers.
Ah, okay.
Circus.
Okay.
So
you tied it all
together.
Okay.
And then all my characters were named after Cthulhu people, but in French.
Ah, gotcha. So
I put effort into it.
That's right.
Even though I couldn't pronounce it.
And I went with a high elf team, the Trace White Lions team. I just used all the names and stuff from our home league. So we had a necromantic team ran by Leland, and we had a Kevin Williams ran an Amazon team, and it was his first tournament. He only played like 2 whole games before this tournament.
Yeah.
So it was nice to get a newcomer, and yeah, he's
caught on way too fast.
Paul Wright from Tulsa, he brought down his dwarves that were undefeated in the last Nuffleween tournament. And then we had John. I think this is his second tournament, because didn't he play in the Red Dirt Rampage or
he
something?
He played in the Red Dirt Rampage, but that was just one game. Was that officially?
Okay.
This is like his first real tournament.
First real tournament, okay. And he played Skaven, and then we had, who else? Oh, you. You had your Goblin team. Yeah. So we had no repeat races or anything like that. So
no, we made sure of that. Sort of. I mean, Scott and I waited until everybody else had picked theirs, and then we decided to take teams that no one else did. Just to kind of keep it all.
Well, actually, I was going to play elves of some sort. I just didn't know which. Mm-hmm. And Brock actually helped me. Brock played Norse.
Yeah.
This time. I don't know if I said that or not.
Don't think
he was
so.
Also there. But yeah, he goes, I want you to play high elves. You need to challenge yourself. And I was like, okay. So round 1.
Gauntlet thrown.
Yes, that's right. So round 1, I got to play against, what the heck? I got to play Leland. Leland Gross. He was won of the Delsing Awards and I think Nuffleween. And he had the Voltsburg Bolts, the necromantic team, and his team was vicious.
Yeah.
Totally vicious. And he kicked my butt pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
And it was after halftime I realized that I was counting all the people in my casualty box. And then I looked up on the field, and it wasn't making sense. And then I realized I didn't pull out all my miniatures. And so I shorted myself one character.
So your 12th man was still in the box.
He didn't show up to the game. He was like Babe Ruth. He was out drinking and partying, and he didn't show up until after halftime.
Okay. Halftime, not in baseball usually, but okay.
But what happened is Leland went up. It was 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second half, Leland had the ball, and really, he probably should have stalled on the goal line. At least one turn, if not 2. He'd probably been safe either way. He was beating me up. He had me down to like 5 guys on the field. And I even told Leland, I go, so you're going to stall a few plays? And he's like, nah, I think I'll just run it in.
Mm-hmm.
You only have a few guys. Well, that ended up being a mistake because it gave me enough time to actually pull off a crazy play, threw it into the end zone, and I tied the game. I managed to come out with a tie 2-2, but he kicked the crap out of me.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so,
I guess.
Yeah. It was good for me, but I felt kind of bad for him.
Yeah.
Because...
You take anything special on your team, or...?
I did 2 blitzers. And then all the rest were linemen.
Okay.
My blitzers, you were allowed to... You could get up to 2 skills on a player.
Mm-hmm.
And I took dodge and tackle on them both. And then I had 2 high elves with... 2 high elf linemen with wrestle and a couple more with block.
Okay.
So, pretty standard, basic thing.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. How'd you do first round?
Oh, first round. Well, my team, I took 2 trolls, took the ball and chain, and I took Fungus the Loon. So I had 2 ball and chains. And I took Scrappa Sorehead.
Okay.
So the goblin pogo or star player that you can throw.
Right.
And that dude is awesome. He is amazing. So, first round, I went up against John.
Mm-hmm.
And his team was built around the fact of a 1-turn score. Because he had Skaven.
Right.
So he gave the guy sprint and +1 movement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he needed. He can just walk in. So we get to playing, and I'm trying to think who went first. I think he went first. And... he scored in 1 turn, and then he kicked off to me, and I threw Scrappa and scored in 1 turn. Then he scored in 1 turn, and then there was a riot, and the clock went back, and I scored in 1 turn. So by turn 2, it was 2-2.
That's amazing.
It was insane. It was a lot of fun. And then Scrappa, he died. And I lost 4-2. Because really, once he was gone, it was like, oh, that's it. Plus, I used both ball and chain guys to start off with, trying to beat him up a little bit.
Well, that one turn...
Yeah, I had to use my rerolls, my bribes real fast, because I took a couple of bribes.
Okay.
and because I've never played goblins before. This is the first time I've ever played goblins.
All right.
And I learned after that not to do that. But other than that, it's just hard as hell to stop a one-turn touchdown rat.
Yes,
It's just nothing I could do. I was happy only to lose 4-2.
Right. When I'll get to that in a second.
Good radio.
Yeah, it's really good. I also wanted to tell everybody that this is Critter Bowl, and so what we did is I had a chart before each kickoff. There was 10 different selections for the ball, and I will put them up on the website. I'm not going to go over every ball, but there was stuff like a nurgling ball, which gave the person carrying the ball hideous appearance and
foul appearance
and disturbing presence, for example. And there were some balls that were actually normal. One was just called a dead pig ball, and he was just a pig skin.
A morgue doll.
It was a morgue plush doll that was just a plush doll of morgue. And, you played it normal. But there was stuff like baby griffin ball that, gave you a +1 to passes.
Dragon's egg. If you dropped it, it was exploded.
Yeah, exploded. But there was many things like that. Troll ball.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, troll ball gave you stupidity as you carried it. And something else.
Which one was it? That
maybe regeneration. I can't remember. But
was it the squig ball that you had to use your strength to pick it up?
There was squig ball, yes, that you had to use your everything like picking up and throwing the ball. You used your strength instead of your agility,
which is not good for goblins
or elves.
Yeah,
or high elves. It's not good at all.
Well, I might as well go with my second round because I actually played Leland, the necromantic team that you just played the first round, and I was holding my own for a little while. Because, the one-turn touchdown is pretty good. And he went down the field with his werewolves, and he got the ball. This is probably after we'd each scored once or something. But he went to the end zone with one werewolf, and then he's running down the field with the other one. So I sent a couple of goblins after each one, and I ended up knocking the ball out of the hands of the one werewolf on the left side of the field. So I think it was like a lucky one-up block, and I got both down and took us both down, or something like that. So his werewolf is down. The ball, we were playing on the Chaos Cup pitch, so it was right on the maw, the little mouth. And then I had a goblin, couple squares, like one square touching the ball, but away from the werewolf. So my next turn, he was down, he turned over, or whatever, and I blitzed his other werewolf that was in the end zone, pushed him out of bounds with my 2 dice uphill block with the goblin.
Nice.
And casualty him. Either casualty or knocked out. I think I casualtied him, so he was gone the rest of the game. And this was right at the end of the half, and all you had to do was get his werewolf up, blitz my goblin, get him down, pick up the ball, and walk in. He gets the werewolf up, blitzes the goblin, double skulls, and goes straight down. And then my goblin in the next turn picks up the ball, goes for it, hands off the ball. He goes for it, and then throws a pass all the way to the other end of the end zone. So went from my end zone all the way to his in one turn, and he didn't have anybody down there. So I protected the ball for that one turn.
Nice.
It didn't end up mattering.
What was the final score on that?
2-1.
2-1.
I kept it close, though. For goblins versus necromantic, that's not bad.
I think Leland was being very nice.
No, he just had crappy dice rolls. It was horrible, that game. I loved it.
That's good. Sometimes you need that in tournaments. Second round, I had to play the Amazon team, the Valleywick Vale Vixens by Kevin Williams, the rookie coach, who won his first game round 1. So he actually beat the guy that we were having the baby shower Blood Bowl tournament for.
Oh, Sarge.
Yeah, he beat Sarge in his first game. So, and Kevin's learning really quick. So we played him. I played him, and it's funny when we were playing a few practice games as I was showing him because he really wanted to participate in the baby shower tournament. As I was teaching him, I was like, I'm going to show you that some people are going to crowd the ball, maybe have a cage in case you play dwarves. And it's going to be a real pain in the butt, especially for a rookie coach. And I said, so be wary of that. Well, sure enough, I played him, and You know how I play.
You're a dwarf at heart, and you cage all the time, no matter the team.
Because it feels like that's the only thing I know.
I
don't know.
It's logically the most sound thing to do, and I think it's what most people do. I just find it boring.
It's putting tackle zones in ways that you have to dodge through stuff. So we played each other, and he made a mistake in the first half. I capitalized. I scored.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of caged up some, and I scored. And then the second half, I got the ball, and it was just the slow drive. And he gave me a hard time the whole game. He's like, yeah, when I was preparing for this tournament, I had this great guy teach me how some of these assholes would play at the tournament, and I finally encountered one, and I just kind of laughed, but I thought back. I almost stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember how good Kevin is usually at games, and then two, I remembered that, by Leland not maybe just stalling one play, how it cost him a tie.
Yeah.
That later could affect the final outcome. And I was like, well, this is tournament. I'm just going to play my game. I wasn't being a jerk, but I was just playing the way I had to play. So I ended up winning 2-0. But Kevin sure gave me a hard time. He still does, actually. I talked to him today. He was giving me a hard time about that. But no, he played really well. So
that's
for
good.
a rookie coach.
And then we had Pizza Shuttle Pizza.
We had Pizza Shuttle Pizza. And if you come to Norman,
yum,
Oklahoma,
yum.
Some people go to Chicago for pizza.
Or have Chicago pizza sent to them.
Yes, like Steve did during a role-playing night, which was awesome because I got to have a slice.
Oh, your wife had one too.
Yes, she
liked
loved it. Oh, dude, she loved it.
Good, isn't it?
Steve had pizza flown in from Giordano's Pizza.
Well, sent in. I don't want to say flown in because it sounds like I had them personally do it.
Yeah,
I just went through
Steve's
the website.
big. He just okay.
I'm a big baller.
Anyways, it was delicious. So
yes,
anybody who ever wants to order some pizza from Chicago,
it's expensive, but it's worth it.
It's really good
for a special occasion.
So then we had some Pizza Shuttle Pizza. We had variants.
Get their meat lovers pizza.
You like that one the best?
I love that one.
For everybody, we had a cheeseburger pizza that instead of having pizza sauce on it, had mustard on it.
I like mustard.
It still went quick.
Well,
all the barbecue pizzas went quick.
Yeah.
But
barbecue's amazing.
I think everybody actually enjoyed the pizza. It's just a crappy little
It's not
pizza.
crappy.
It's not.
It's a local chain, and
it is a local chain.
Lower end, maybe, but
I like it, but that's because I had it during college. So
yeah, that's a lot of it.
Get some Pizza Shuttle, everybody. Always put extra cheese on it. It makes a big difference.
This episode brought to you by Pizza Shuttle.
Where you can get your pizza delivered.
By a shuttle.
By a shuttle. All right, so round 3. Round 3 is when I had to face the dwarf team. The same team that we saw on paper, and we said, well, this team's going to just go undefeated again.
Because it's a dwarf team, and it's Paul, who's really, really good.
Right, so you take a good coach like Paul, and then you give him dwarves, and oh my gosh. He went undefeated. I don't think anybody scored against him at Nuffleween.
Nobody.
And I think up at this point, nobody scored against him. And here we are in round 3. And I'm like, oh, God, I knew I was going to face you.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you how do you face dwarves? How do you outbeat dwarves? And
you out-dwarf dwarves.
You out-dwarf dwarves.
With elves.
I got if I remember right, something happened. I don't know what it was. Somehow I got the
shimmy, shimmy shakes?
No, he actually got the ball, I think. Anyways. Right off the bat, I went after. No, I had the ball first. That's a lie. I had the ball first half, and so I was just like, I'm gonna try to play my game. So of course you dodge away from dwarves and not take hits, and I went after his troll slayers.
Yeah,
because they have the lowest armor, hoping just to get a break,
get a numbers game basically.
Right. We had the weather of what's the one, sweltering heat.
Yes.
So we started...
And at the beginning of each round, Sarge would roll the weather.
Right, so we had the weather. I've learned in my past that I always have a bench player because I always get somebody hurt. And I know a lot of people for tournaments don't take bench players.
Right,
Paul
they take an apothecary maybe.
Right, Paul chose not to take a bench player. He had just 11 dwarves and had a lot of skills on him, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It worked every other game. But with a little luck on my side and a little bad luck on his side, I hurt his troll slayer right off the bat, casualtied that sucker. So he was already down a man, which helps a lot. And then I just caged up and I out dwarves with high elves. And I stalled, and then I went to the other side. I mean, I ran back and forth on the goal line. And at one point, though, I did make a mistake. I didn't think he could get through. And he actually had a runner dodge through a couple of tackle zones, and he made it through. And he went straight for my blitzer, which had blocked dodge, but I was sitting on the goal line. So all he had to do was really get a push. Or not on the goal line, but I was sitting next to the out of bounds. All he had to do was get a push, and I would sell out of bounds, and he would have not had me score on him, and he would have got the kickoff.
Yeah.
This is just me personally. He had a ton of block. He put extra block on his runners, and I understand as a dwarf coach I would have too. But I'm telling you guys, if you go to tournaments, put some wrestle.
Yeah, wrestle's huge.
I know I have the biggest man junk hard on for wrestle, but there was many times that Paul got in some areas where he could have helped out, but by having block. And if my guy had block, when you roll both down,
it just negates it.
It just negates it. Whereas if you had wrestle, at least you pull somebody down. And that's where I kind of had an advantage in some ways. So we started playing this number game. I think I injured another one of his guys. I fouled when I needed to.
I think you took out both Troll Slayers, didn't you?
I believe so.
Yeah.
All I know is I scored on the last play of the half. He had one kickoff. A lot of his guys missed the kickoff because of the sweltering heat. I mean, a ton of them.
Yeah.
And so we did the one play. We lined back up for another kickoff. A lot of his guys missed again. He had I think he had 5 or 6 guys. I can't remember. He didn't have many.
Yeah.
And at this point, I still had a full team. So normally you don't mark up dwarves, but I thought, he doesn't have that many of them, so I'm just going to put guys on him, and if he wants to dodge away and try to cage, you can. And eventually my numbers took over. I went down, and I didn't even just score. I just stalled out the rest of the half and made sure, for sure, I could get a win.
Yeah.
And I did. So I won 2-0 over what I consider a very good player and with a very good team. So I was, really happy at this point.
Yeah, my round 3, I played Sarge, and he was playing his high elf, or not high elf, pro elf
team,
the Green Bay Packers.
Yes,
and he had lost every game, and I had lost every game, so it was a battle of the worst, and it did not get much better for either one of us really, because I was hurting him left and right, because as you can imagine, ball and chain and 2 trolls, you can kind of hurt 7 armored people.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up with 4 casualties at the end of the game. And with the weather, he'd lost, some people, and I'd lost people. The problem was, in every other game, I stayed competitive until Scrap of Sorehead was gone. I ate Scrap of Sorehead this time.
Nice.
So my troll just decided, this guy's been basting in his own juices all day, so he must obviously be meat, and just gobbled him straight down. And I was worthless after that. I wasted a reroll trying to save him, and it's like, oh no.
No, that's what the troll really does. No, he didn't listen.
It's good.
Oh, meow.
So yeah, I lost 2-0. But I did hurt him.
Well,
and I came close a couple of times. It's just my guys, Scrap is so good. He lands easy. He can just get away from everybody. He's got the extra movement.
That's
Regular
good.
goblins? Nope. So I definitely learned, if I play goblins again, which I did have a blast playing them, have more than one person who can score a touchdown.
Right.
Because I did not.
All right. So let's go to round 4. Now, round 4 is kind of unique also in that every round up to this point, every time there was a kickoff, you rolled on the kickoff table to get the strange ball, whatever the ball was. Round 4, I wanted to kind of have like a bowl round like college football. So I put secret bowls into these envelopes. I had Sarge stir them up, and then every table had an envelope on there. And so what bowl did you play for? Do you remember?
I think it was the Orclahoma Bowl.
Orclahoma Bowl, and then your ball was the Orcupine Ball.
Yes, it was.
Which was a ball, like a spike ball, and if you dropped it, it hurt you.
Or if you failed to pick it up, it...
Right.
Yeah. Again, not good for goblins.
So everybody, what I was kind of going for is no matter what, if you walked off the field, like your team, because you ended up losing your final game.
Well, thanks for blowing it.
I know.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I'll just go here. I played Brock, who played Norse. I lost 2-0. Imagine that.
That's still not.
That's my whole recap.
Well, the whole idea behind the bowl game, though, is no matter what, you don't have to tell everybody you went 0-4.
Right.
You can say, I was the Orca-Cola runner-up for the Orca-Cola Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
You could, though.
I could.
You could.
Yes.
Is what. My final round, I actually got to play the Creepy Balls of Fur, coached by John Brees. There was the Skaven team with the one-turn touchdown guy. I don't know if I told. You stop him? I don't know if I told you or if I told Brock this. After like one round or whatever, I said, I might have been talking to Brock. I was just like, if I play that guy, he's going to get his first touchdown. I said, but after that, if it takes all game, I'm either going to tie 1-1 or I'm going to eventually win because I'm going to track that guy down and hurt him.
Yes.
And so.
That is what I should have done.
So that's what I plan on doing. Whether won me the game or tied me the game or lost it didn't matter. That was my strategy. It's like, I'm going to foul that guy. I'm going to try to hurt him. And sure enough, he got the ball. He actually had a fumbled pass. I ended up getting the ball. We both struggled for a while, but I actually started really trying to pound his gutter runners and hurt them. I eventually got injuries on him. It still was a struggle. It took, I think, the last turn of that first half for me to score 1-0.
Yeah.
And then second half, I got the ball, and then I just super caged all the way down. And then when I got close to scoring, I still super caged up. And then at this point, this is round 4. I know Leland is winning all of his games so far, too. So I thought, strength of schedule, I might actually have a chance to come in first place. So I was like, so for sure, I caged up. It might have been a little frustrating to John, and it would be frustrating if I was on the opposite end, too. Because cages are just impossible.
They're just frustrating.
Or if you have a plan and you roll bad, it always sucks. Because, like, oh, there's an opening, and then you roll double skulls or something. And he didn't roll so good the second half either. But so I ended up winning 2-0, and Leland also won the Voltsburg Bolts. So at the end of the day, the final. Here, let me move around here.
At the end of the day, the most important thing is I got 2 awards.
You did.
I was both the Stunty Cup champion and the Poopy Diaper Award.
You were.
I came.
Isn't that pretty awesome?
I would like to say that I don't think any other team has won a Stunty championship without winning any games.
Well, you were the only Stunty team.
I didn't even tie any games. It was 0-4.
My bowl game was the Max Gobo's Green Bowl.
Yeah.
And our thing was, it was a squig the whole time, I believe.
Yeah.
I think. I can't remember what our ball was. Might have been squig.
Yeah.
Anyways. Doesn't really matter now.
No.
But, so we did, I put all the stats in the computer, and I was so happy, and I had to double check this like 3 times because I didn't
want to. And I'm going to take full credit for this.
I won first place.
And why is that?
Because Leland didn't stall during the first round.
Second to that. Second reason.
How are you taking credit for this?
Because he played me, and you didn't.
And
it was on strength of schedule.
You're exactly right. It is on strength of schedule. It is your fault.
It is.
You D-bag.
It's entirely my not fault. I get all the credit for your win.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
So you finally get your first tournament championship.
So I won a championship.
Even though it was only 8 people, and you did run it, I had to go to Texas and beat like 20 people.
Even though our record was the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your record was the same. Just saying.
Don't do this
Whatever.
Here. Can't edit this out. Yours is better than mine?
Of course it is.
Yeah, you got a trophy. I got a piece of paper.
Exactly.
What I think is funny is I win a tournament. Of course, I was running it and playing in it, and there's no trophy. It's a piece of paper. Congratulations, Scott.
Plus, I destroyed that tournament.
Yes, you did. It's your fault.
We went down there and spanked them so bad, they just gave up.
You destroyed Bugman's Bowl.
Yep.
We'll see about that.
It's a challenge to any Texas player. Again, Dallas players come to Orclahoma.
Come beat Steve's ass. All right, so real quick, because I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing us break down a tournament with only 8 people.
Well, I'm sure. It's been 30 minutes.
We had quite a bit of awards, and we gave them out to everybody. And actually, it worked out. Critter Bowl champion was me. And then our Critter Bowl runner-up was Leland Gross and the Vicksburg Bolts. And then our Delsine Cup, which is 3rd place, went to the Grumbrindle Starbreakers. I am very honored.
Who's that?
That is Paul White.
Oh, okay.
Paul Wright. I'm sorry.
That's right.
I want to call him Paul White like the Big Show from wrestling.
Yeah.
But it's really Paul Wright. I'm so honored to beat him, for real, just because that guy's a nice guy, but he plays so good. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about, oh, gosh, yeah, I got to play Paul. So happy. Anyways, and then Best Sportsman went to Mike R. Sarge Tate. And he also got Best Appearance because of the team you played, because everybody voted for the Goblin team.
Good.
But he actually
So I
it.
technically won that one, too. I got 4
You didn't paint them. He painted them.
So wait, I was instrumental in 1st place and technically instrumental in 2nd place. I voted for Sarge. I didn't play...
Matter of fact, Steve, you are the tournament MVP. Too bad I didn't have an award for that.
Oh.
Most Brutal went to the Val Vixens. Best Offense went to the Creepy Balls of Fur. Best Defense went to the Vanheim Vikings, which was the Norse team by Brock Huffman. You got the Stunty Cup and the Poopy Diaper Award. Congratulations.
Yep. It stinks.
It stinks?
It stinks.
Quickly?
Yes.
Thoughts on the tournament?
It was a lot of fun. Oh, and after Scrappa was eaten against Sarge, my trolls decided that they can just dodge. I dodged like crazy that game. I had nothing to live for. I was just, okay, I'm going to dodge. I'd get it.
Some days you just roll 5s and 6s.
Yep.
I thought it was a fun event.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. And we raised a couple $100 for Sarge's baby.
And it might be something I do every year. I know I haven't even talked to you about that.
We could probably do a charity event every year. We should.
But I think it might be something we do every year. That's just my
thoughts. We'll
thoughts.
have to figure something out, yeah.
Because I really enjoyed the Crazy Balls. And I enjoyed the... yeah, you can make a soundbite out of that. I like balls. Crazy balls.
I don't care.
And I like the idea of the bowl games at the end. So
yeah,
I thought it was a lot of fun. Anyways,
definitely.
Come to Oklahoma where we play Blood Bowl all the time.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take a break here, and you're going to play some music again? Or
It's a save break at least.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pause right here. And now we're back. So how's that?
That works.
No editing.
Nope. Well, I'm going to have to put these segments together. That's pretty much it.
Man, you're lazy.
I'm busy.
We can actually do what we want. There's only 2 shows left.
I know.
Slurcast is gone. They're not coming back.
Well, and 3 Die Block's copying us now.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Anders, and you're listening to 3 Die Block.
Yeah, what is up with that, Chance and Drew?
Invitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, then they're going to do an unedited podcast soon.
Well, aren't there all those?
Oh, boom.
Maybe that's why we're doing this.
Boom. Wow.
Boom goes dynamite.
Steve's throwing it out there.
Yeah, whatever.
I say boom goes the dynamite all the time at work.
Yeah.
And my coworker Brock, who plays with us, he didn't understand where I was getting that from. And I finally had to show him that
video?
sportscaster guy. He's like, oh, that poor guy. Anyways.
And boom goes the dynamite.
And boom goes the dynamite. All right.
Could be from it was a Family Guy that every time Cleveland would
get it on,
achieve his end result.
Proudness? Oh, okay.
Yes. You go, ow, 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 and boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, Cleveland. All right.
You came and you saw and you left me.
So
now, Orclahoma Bowl, what is it? Why should they come? And what are we doing?
Well, do you want to tell them or you want me to?
Orclahoma Bowl, March 9th, Norman, Oklahoma.
That's right. This is day one
of a
2-day event weekend for people in Oklahoma and surrounding areas and whoever else wants to fly in, whether it's from Utah.
Yep. We've got confirmed from Utah.
People are coming from Utah.
At least 2 people from Denver. Probably one other person and another guy from Austin.
From Austin, Texas.
2 guys from Austin and 1 guy from Houston, at least.
A guy from Houston? That's almost like near the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. okay.
You got to have some scrote to come up here.
It's very true. It's a long ways to go.
That means we run good tournaments, and that means you should travel too. So if you're
anywhere,
anywhere,
a lot of stuff.
You should come here.
Absolutely.
So first, let's talk about...
First, go to the website, orclahomabowl.com, for more information and to pre-register for the event.
That's right. And we're just going to briefly go over the team building rules, just in case somebody's driving from Utah or Tulsa or Godibo or New Mexico or Arkansas, and you're driving in your car and you have your roster, you think it's ready because you didn't send it in ahead of time to get extra raffle tickets.
Everyone should send your rosters in ahead of time so that we can approve them, and if we do, you will get extra raffle tickets.
Boom! How you like that?
For the regular prizes, not the pre-painted team.
And we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Okay. So we can't edit this, so don't talk about it right now.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to just go over the team real quick, just in case, because we had a few people
go over the team real quick.
Team building.
Okay.
For the tournament. It says some people asked about, they had some questions on stuff. They thought we were unclear. It's very obvious that we're never wrong. So don't ask questions, but we're going to explain these anyways.
We encourage questions so that we can answer them and point out how right we are.
So Orclahoma Bowl is a 4-round tournament on Saturday.
Yes.
How you like that?
What time are we starting? 9 a.m.?
We are starting
I think registering starts at 9 and the first game at 10.
First game is actually at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Nothing real funky with the Orclahoma Bowl except that we do have Orclahoma Bowl crazy weather. So it's like Dust Bowl, drought, windy, perfect day, downpour, muddy mess, and a tornado, which are all...
We take the regular weather results, put them on a D8 instead of 2D6.
And then we combine the two. We combined 2 and 3, and we combined the other two. Blizzard
11 and 12. Yeah.
Right, 11 and 12 on the regular charts. So.
Yeah. And combined, it's 1 and 8. So.
Right. So, yeah, we have
it's something we do every tournament just to encourage more randomness.
I really, really like having some weather effects.
Yeah.
Because it's so rare in league play that we get them normally. So I really actually enjoy this.
And they're fun. It adds a little bit extra maneuvering. You have to know what you're doing.
Right.
Sometimes.
We're giving 1.1 million in gold pieces to build your team. And then what you can buy with that is everything. You can purchase your players, your fan factor, your rerolls, coaches, cheerleaders as normal, and you can buy skills. We do the limit of up to 2 skills per team of the same skill. So if you had a dwarf team and you wanted to add guard, you could only put up to 2 guards on a guy or on 2 separate players. And you can only put 1 skill or 1 stat increase on a player.
And stat increases do not include agility and strength.
Right.
I don't know that we have anyone ever take the armor stat increase. I don't know why you would.
I don't even know why they list that. I was thinking about that, looking at tournament builds and stuff. It's like, who
would you
does
take
that?
Movement? I guess people would take
some
movement.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Very rare, but some people do. We do allow that you have. Let's see. You can take star players if you want. You just have to have 11 players before you buy them,
including Cromnard Dung.
That's right. We in the Orclahoma Bowl, it's catered to the green skin warriors of the pitch. So any team could take the following players: Ripper, which is star player Troll; Rashnak Backstabber, which is star player Hobgoblin. Is it Ugrot, Bullrot?
Yeah.
Bullgrot, the chainsaw wielding Orc, Var Goldchewer, the Orc Blitzer, and then Cromnard Dung, the Orc Blitzer that Johnny P and Extreme from the now deceased podcast.
It's not deceased, it's just in a coma.
It's in a coma?
Yeah.
That means it might come back.
Sure. But it might have brain damage.
It might have brain damage. Anyways, those 2 guys created this character and this legend from the pitch, and so they were very nice to let us use him last year, and so we are using him again because it's actually really fun to add him to the fluff. So he has special stats that are below in our tournament build package, and you can find all that information at orclahomabowl.com. So it's just what I consider a standard tournament build, but that's only because the first couple tournaments I played in were built like this.
Yeah. Well, it's also because we wanted this one to be very standard because it's the bigger name of the 2.
That's right.
Because we figured if people were going to go to only one event, they're probably going to go to Orclahoma Bowl. It's on a Saturday.
That's right.
It's the 4-day one, 4 round one. So.
And Let's see. There's no Highlander rule. So if for some reason I took Cromnar Dung and you took Cromnar Dung for your Goblin team and I took it for my High Elf team, they both could play because there's so many people that want to hire star players to win this prestigious thing that they'll hire a wizard or somebody or fake that there's somebody else to get hired. So we allow that to happen. And standard scoring, 60 points for a win, 30 points for a draw, 10 points for a loss, and then we have different things for like tiebreakers where you get a +2 if you outscored your opponent, or maybe if you had more casualties or stuff like that. But nothing
super fancy.
Nothing really crazy besides the greenskin star players and
the weather.
And if
kickoff table, are we changing at all?
What's that?
Are we changing the kickoff table?
Let me check. I'm looking through here. No, we do not. Not this year. We did not. Why, did you want to do that?
No, I guess not.
We did that for Spiky, but we'll talk about that here in a second. I would, if you are just bringing a team and having fun. I know last year there was a special prize for people that brought, or extra tickets, I think, for drawings if you played with a greenskin star player. So if that's an incentive for you to run an undead team with Varg Golchur, do it. Have fun with it. I know I played a halfling team last year as the sub coach, so I could be the odd man out. And I actually put Cromnar Dung on my team, and he was awesome. Now, of course, when you play halflings, you have to have the other guy roll bad, and you have to roll really good. And I lucked through it, but he helped. So lots of fun there. We had an Amazon team, too, last year that ran him, didn't they?
Alan's
team run that.
Black Eyed Bees.
Yep. So that's it for Orclahoma Bowl. Really,
don't want to talk about prizes and stuff? Giveaways?
We're doing trophies.
We are doing trophies,
right,
which we need to order still.
Yes, we need to order those. We have special dice for people who sign up early and all that.
And for everybody. People sign up early get special dice.
Well, that's right. That's what I mean. They get an extra set of special dice.
Yeah.
You want to talk about prizes now?
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
Okay. Well, according to the agenda that I wrote down, we're going to talk about that after Spiky. But let's just
it's going to be a whole separate segment, but okay.
Oh.
Well.
Let's talk about it. I'd like to talk about it. Let's talk about our team.
Okay.
We, go for it. You go.
Me go.
I sound like my 2-year-old. Me go.
Sound like a 1970s superhero line. Me go. I ended up getting a good deal from Brian Harmon on some Grebo Orcs in uniform.
BCH!
Represent. And then we got those in. They're really cool. And we took them to our friend Kenny, who does our painting for us.
Rogue's Painting.
And he cut me a really good deal on it. So we got it all painted. And then you went and did the basing.
That's right. And they look awesome.
Yes, they do. I
must say this is the best basing job ever. Flocking, basing, whatever you want to call it, job I've ever done. And with Kenny's painting, it's a Orc Team, Grebo, right?
Yeah.
And they're all like in Oklahoma Sooner red, with
crimson
and white, or crimson cream, however you want to do it. More of a white, standard white. But they look awesome. It comes with a troll. This is not just a tournament team with just 12 guys.
Oh,
this is, you get all your...
Total of 15 players, I think?
I think it's
17.
I think it's 17 players.
Yeah, 17 total.
You get your troll. You get 2 goblins in case you want to use some goblins on your orc team.
Yeah.
You get one of those goblins is a Spiky Norman, or the model that looks just like him. And then a 3rd edition goblin. And then there's 4 Black Orc blockers. There's 4 blitzers, there's 2 throwers, and then either 3 or 4 linemen. I'm trying to do the math.
I think it's 4.
Maybe 4 linemen.
Not positive.
Yeah. Anyways, the rest of the team is linemen. It looks really amazing.
It looks awesome. We'll get some pictures up on the website.
Yeah, we're going to have to, so we can start pimping that out.
But how do people win this fancy team?
All right, I'm glad you asked, Steve.
Because this is going to be only for people who register for both events, Orclahoma Bowl and Spiky Cup.
I will make this clear. First off, we're giving this away Saturday. We're giving this away
Saturday
at the Orclahoma Bowl.
Of the day.
So somebody's already asked. Technically, that means you can sign up for both days, and you don't have to show up Sunday.
Right.
If you want to... the only way you get a a ticket for this raffle is if you sign up for both days. We want to reward the people that pay for 2 days. If you don't want to show up for Sunday, that's fine.
We understand if you can't make both days, but,
Yeah, we want to reward the people that do at least pay for both days. So, like one of the guys in our home league said, could I pay for both days and just not show up? Sure. If that's what you want to do, you want to win the team, and if we actually draw your name Saturday and we never see you Sunday, it's still your team. So be it.
Yeah.
You're not getting your money back for Sunday, but so be it. So what we're going to do is for the early bird people that pre-registered with our early bird special,
which was already ended,
and very cheap. You're going to get 3 raffle tickets. If you sign up between now and March 2nd, you will get 2 raffle tickets for this team. And for anybody that pays for both tournaments Saturday, so you find out you actually off work and you drive in from Noble, Oklahoma, and you bring your team and roster and you're ready, and you're going to sign up for both days, then you get 1 ticket. So everybody's going to get a chance that signs up and pays for both days.
And there's not going to be any other way to get a ticket.
It's a great value.
Yeah.
So
we want to do this, like I said, it's to reward people who are putting in the effort to make our events as awesome as possible. And also want to make sure that we reward people who register early, because you don't understand how important that is. Because it's a matter of we have to get the dice and the trophies and all the things we're giving away. I mean, we're giving away, 7, 8 miniatures that day? Giving away a copy of a Blood Bowl team manager, giving away dice, all kinds of stuff.
Just imagine if it cost you, let's say it cost you $4 to get in some dice for your tournament, which is under exaggerating, but let's say it's only $4 and you're running a tournament and your entry fee is only $1. If you can get 4 people to sign up for that 2 months in advance, you can go ahead and pay for your dice, and it helps out, or trophies or whatever. So if you know you're going to go to a tournament, and I understand if you can't afford to pay in advance, but pay in advance, it helps out the tournament organizers so much.
Huge.
So we're going to reward the early bird people, and we're going to reward everybody between now and March 2nd.
I mean, we've always been a big proponent of people registering early.
Right.
And then I guess that's pretty much it for that day.
And we're also, we got fields ordered.
Yes.
From FF Fields. Alex designed a great-looking pitch.
I can't wait to get it.
It is so awesome.
And our team should look amazing on it.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, we tried to tailor the flocking and the basing to go with it. If you haven't seen the pitch and this is your first episode, or you made it this long because it's unedited.
Sorry for you. Wow.
You can find that over on...
This actually is a fluff-based podcast, but...
Well, it's still kind of fluffy.
Sort of.
Kind of.
We're fluffy.
I am very fluffy.
Yes.
I'm what the ladies call a teddy bear.
You're what the men just call a bear.
Oh. And I'm what the men call a bear. But you can go over to orclahomabowl.com. That's ORCLAHOMA bowl.com. And you can see a picture of the field. It's no longer available through us. The cutoff date was a couple days ago, and you're too late with us. But you can go over to ff-fields.com. You can email Alex. He has the same field on file. He's the guy who created it, and you can order one straight from him. And
it won't be as cheap as what we offered, I'm sure.
Probably not, because we got a bulk discount type deal. But it's an amazing field. It is a field that's designed, if we haven't talked about this enough last episode, it is designed that you can play end zone to end zone or sideline to sideline. We here, and we play most of our games in Steve's house. We play most of them on a table that we just do it sideline to sideline. We sit across from each other on the sidelines. But at tournaments, we'd like to turn the board the other way and play like everybody else. So this field is designed where your turn markers and your dugouts, they're not all on one side. Yeah. When you turn it sideline to sideline.
You can see. It works out really well.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he did a great job. He designed the field exactly like we wanted it. So if you're out there, and I was contacted by a guy, I believe in Spain, Anyways, he found us through the NAF website.
Oh, really?
He was just going through different tournaments, and he actually saw us on Critter Bowl, and he loved the different balls and how we did the weather thing different. And he contacted me, and he looked at other things, and we talked about the pitch and everything, I guess, elsewhere. Yeah. And he's like, I want you to design me a pitch. I'll probably need about 20 of them. And he immediately sent me graphics. And, of course, I'm going like, is this some weird, am I going to get a virus by opening this? Because it went to my junk mail. And through talking to him, he never even heard of us through the podcast, surprisingly. I was like, you must have heard us through the podcast? And he's like, no, I actually just I try to make interesting tournaments. He said, here everybody just does a standard build, and they just call it a tournament. He goes, I'm trying to make the tournament's more interesting. So indirectly, our fluff or variants that we try to do reached out to another person, and he said he'll check out the podcast too.
Did you tell him to check out Spiky?
Huh?
Did you tell him to check the rules for Spiky?
Yeah, he looked through all of our stuff. He said he really liked all our ideas.
If you like interesting, Spiky is interesting.
I just found it weird that we found a guy through the NAF, not through the podcast. But that's great.
That's cool. You just never know.
So I hope if he's listening, and this is your first episode, they're not normally like this.
No.
So I'm going to pass this on to Steve. So you have the rules in front of you, or do you have them on your computer there?
No, I don't. But if we're going to go to Spiky, then we're going to save this segment.
All right. We're going to be right back in just about 4 seconds. Now, that wasn't quite 4 seconds, but that works. All right. Let's talk about Spiky Cup, Steve.
This is the one I did.
If you don't like this tournament,
blame me.
Blame Steve. And if you love this tournament, you can say that it was probably because I helped Steve.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Edit the final copy of it. Spiky Cup is a tournament and a kind of a parody off of the big Spike Magazine Award.
Right.
That's up in Canada, and it's a
Spike Magazine. It's one of the major tournaments. And then there's the old star player, Spiky Norman. And we run the tournaments in Norman, Orclahoma. So we kind of put it all together. And since we had Orclahoma Bowl, then we figured the goblins were getting left out. So we wanted to do one that was much more wild and wacky and more goblin-like.
Right. And our whole idea by running 2 tournaments over 2 days came just because there's so many people that said that, maybe we should expand it. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe I would travel if it was more than 1 day. And but we didn't think a lot of the local guys maybe could commit to 2 days. So that's why we broke this down into 2 separate 1-day tournaments. So this is a Sunday.
It hasn't been done before to our knowledge, and it seemed like a interesting thing. Instead of playing, you can travel, instead of playing one big tournament for 2 days, which realistically, if you lose 4 games the first day,
you're
not really too motivated to play the second day.
Well, and if you're people like us, me and you like to play different teams every time, whether we should or not. Yeah. Instead of sticking to just one team.
Yeah. If we go to 24 tournaments, we're going to be playing 24 different teams in those tournaments.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
So this was a good way to get in another tournament, NAF approved, and we have a shorter day. This is only 3 rounds. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're just taking straight standings. There's a ton of different tiebreakers and stuff.
Yeah, I'll say straight standings is kind of misleading, but it's based totally on points.
On the points, right. Yeah. I'm going to try to briefly go over this just because there's been quite a few questions over this tournament because it's a lot different than any tournament I've seen.
Yeah, and it's kind of confusing only because you're thinking we made a mistake, and we didn't. I designed this to be weird, and it is.
Right. Here we go. Team builds. You're giving 1.2 million gold pieces to build your team, and then of course you can buy rerolls and all that same junk as normal. Yeah. You can actually buy,
but a higher number because I wanted people to bring in star players and dwarf, death rollers and
right. There's a reason
crazy
for this.
Stuff.
You wanted some chaos, so chaos. You have quite 1.2 million. So it's a big build, and then for your skills, you get 6 double skills, which means only skills that you normally could only get through rolling doubles on your dice to skill up. So that, for example, is if you had a dwarf blocker and you rolled doubles and you chose to take block, or I mean, sorry, not block, dodge to turn that dwarf blocker, which I don't know why you would, into a blodger.
Yeah.
So,
or if you had, say, an ice troll who can only get strength,
right?
Now he has to take something that's right.
You get block.
It's more beneficial,
right?
And something that's a little bit different than normal for the other positions.
So this is an either-or choice. If you're a dwarf team, you can either take 6 double skills or 3 single regular skills.
Right. And I did that to be different. I want people to take double skills because people normally don't.
Right.
Even if they have the option, they don't want to pay the extra money unless it's like, I'm going to take leader on a thrower.
So, for example, this might be like if you're a goblin and you normally, now you can take, I don't know, you can
take Mighty Blow.
Yeah, you can take a bunch of Mighty Blows
Piling on.
and have a bash team or guard,
That's what I want.
And if you're a dwarf team, you can go, well, I'll take my 3 guards and just take a chance with it. Or you think outside of the box and, I'll take some dodge on these guys that I normally wouldn't.
Exactly.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of different, Steve.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go through here and...
Yeah, we've had a lot of emails already. It's like, is it supposed to be the other way around? Nope. No, that's right.
That's exactly it. You actually gain more if you take the 6 double skills versus the 3. So.
And since it is goblins, what is the most identifiable thing with goblins? Weapons.
Secret weapons. So
not just secret weapons, but weapons.
That's right. So here in this tournament, it says you must also pick 1 Spiky Bowl secret weapon package for one of your players.
Does it say secret weapon package?
It does say secret weapon package, and that's where people are probably getting confused.
It should be not so secret weapon package.
Right, and that will change tomorrow when I get back to work. For one of your players. But it says, note this can be applied to any player in your team, including players that ever see skills or star players.
Yeah, and also, those 6 skills, you could put all 6 in the same player if you wanted.
Yeah, I was going to go back to that. I just read that line there's no limit to 1 skill per player. So if you wanted to make a super goblin, as long as he took doubles, all double skills, you could make a super goblin.
Or all 3 single skills, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. If you want to put all your eggs in one basket, give him all the skills and the weapon.
Do it.
Do it.
Super War Dancer.
Because you know what's going to happen? That other team is going to go after that one player.
That's right. And that
could work or not.
That's right. So Steve has a list of what he's calling the not-so-secret weapons. And every team gets one of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Each team gets 1 free bribe.
Right. And in addition to the weapons.
And this does not change the limit on how many bribes a team can have. So if you're a goblin team, and normally you can get 2, you still can only get 2. You just only have to pay for 1. Right? This does not change the limit on how many bribes a team can have.
Sure.
I think that's how it's worded.
I think it's
Anyways,
right.
It's on there. Let's talk about the not-so-secret weapon packages.
Yes.
So 1 player. So if I have a Slan team, I can kick one of these and put these on anybody.
Any team.
Any
team.
Doesn't have to be Slan.
Every single
team. But I can pick one of these. So first one up is grenades. So you get the bombardier skill with this player and no hands.
Yes.
Awesome. Chainsaw. Love this. Chainsaw with no hands. Awesome. Spiky Death Gyro. It's a ball and chain skills only. The player will have its movement changed to 3 and their strength changed to 7. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And if you're thinking, wait, isn't that overpowering, like for a snotling? Yeah, go for it.
Knock him down. He only has 5 armor.
Exactly.
Pogo Stick of Doom. That player would get leap and very long legs. The Hooligan. He's a hooligan. So he gets a sneaky get and dirty player and the stab skill. Then we have the Blunderbuss, which is Hail Mary Pass and strong arm skills. And then we have Touch of Chaos, which is Hypnotic Gaze, Foul Appearance, and Disturbing Presence. And then finally, the Spiky Helmet, which I love this one for Spiky Norman. He gets horns, because it's a horny helmet, and Juggernaut.
Yep.
These are not so secret weapons. So just remember that they will not get called out.
Right.
So if you do equip a death gyro to a...
Yeah, the ball and chain guy is going to be with you.
To a halfling.
Game.
That guy's, as long as he doesn't get knocked down and hurt, he's going to stay out there. And
I'm pretty sure he's going to get knocked down and hurt pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hit him. Put any one player, including any player that's received skills. Okay.
But you can't put him on a star player.
Star players cannot get a secret weapon package, but can apply to any one player on your team, including any player that has received skills.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have a ball and chain guy with block.
Sure.
If you wanted to waste your money that way.
Yep.
Or maybe not waste it. Maybe that's good. So that is very unique. I think it's a very cool idea, Steve.
Thank you.
We'll
see how it works. I'm not too sure about that, but it should be fun.
You're allowed to use star players. You are also allowed to... There's no Highlander rules, so you can have multiple star players playing in the same game. Scoring. I think this is interesting.
Yes. Because to me, I don't see how goblins care about winning the game that much. So, well, I don't really care about that much.
Okay. That's fair enough.
So how's the scoring work?
All right, scoring. After each round, you'll fill out a game sheet based on the game just completed. All knockouts from blocking, fouling, crowd surfing, weapons will provide 2 points. Yes. 2 points. Every KO.
Every single KO.
So you add them up. Mm-hmm. So if I had 5 guys KO'd...
Yeah, if you KO'd the other team 5 times, you get 10 points.
That can add up really quick.
Yes, it can.
All casualties from blocking, fouling, crowd surfing, weapons will provide 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing. The only way that doesn't work is from falling from a go for it or a dodge.
Yeah.
So anything that you do to cause a casualty, 4 points apiece.
Yeah, if you're causing the other person to fall down, you get the points. If you did it because of yourself, you don't.
I got you. So you're going to have to keep track of this during your game every time somebody gets injured.
Absolutely.
But it's only 3 rounds. It's not that hard. You get a win, you get 60 points. You get a draw, 30 points. Loss, 10 points.
Yeah, so that's going to be the same. However, if you end up getting 10 casualties and a loss, that's a lot of points. Because you probably knocked out a few people too.
Nice. And then, of course, it has a lot of the same little bonus points that we have through Orclahoma Bowl. You only lost by 1. You earn +2 bonus points. You cause more than 1 casualty, +2 points, et cetera, et cetera. People can look at that, but there's going to be a lot of points awarded between these games. So you could lose the game, but you could beat up somebody, and you might not have that win, but you might have more points.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, with this tournament, it's total points.
Yeah, and it's only 3 rounds.
It's only 3 rounds, so even a goblin team could squeak through here.
I'm pretty sure goblins get something special, don't they?
Well, let's go over that. There'll be no overtime played. Tiebreakers. Goblins love causing chaos, cheating, and mayhem. If by chance there's a tie in tournament points, the ties will be broken in this order. Goblin team wins the tiebreaker against any other team.
Yes.
Then we go to most casualties plus knockouts, and whoever pays the organizer the most.
Yes.
And then a knife fight, goblin style.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping we get to that goblin style knife fight.
Pretty sure it's not going to, because once it enters paying me off, I'm okay with that.
Well, that's good.
Because I'll be running that one, and I will take bribes. In the true spirit of a goblin.
If I can get my team painted in time by rogue painting with Kenny, I already have my team ready too, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Cool. Yeah, I will be playing Orclahoma Bowl, and Scott will be running it, and Scott will be playing Spiky, and I will be running it. So that's another reason to have 2 separate events. If you have 2 organizers, you can each kind of shift off.
So be really patient with me, because I'm scared to death at Orclahoma Bowl, because we're probably going to have more attendance there. And it's
probably. Well, I've screwed up the last 2 times, so people are used to it by now.
Another note here, this is under the team building rules, and we missed this. Since Spiky Norman is a legendary Goblin star player, all Goblin teams get an additional +10 bonus points towards team standings. So right off the bat, if you're a Goblin team, you get a +10.
Yes. That's overall standings.
That's overall standings. So
each
at
game.
the end of the day, if you had 77 points and you're a Goblin team, then you're going to get your +10, so you'll have 87 points. And that could put you over a place or 2.
And if that puts you in a tie with the other first place team that happens to be dwarves or something, you win.
Spiky Norman, he's such a bitch.
Yeah. And I think we have something special planned for that for a giveaway too, but we'll have to see how that comes.
Okay. And then we have a special kickoff table for Spiky Cup. It's you'll have to just read that in the rules package, but there is a special kickoff for that.
Yeah, we got time. Go through some.
Let me go through a few. Give me a number. 2 through 12.
5.
5. Double trouble. The receiving team sneaks an extra ball on the field. Unfortunately, they forgot about the ball being kicked. The ball being kicked scatters as usual. Give one player not on the line an additional ball. Both balls are valid. First one across the goal line scores and the drive ends. Give me another one.
I love that one. What's 10?
10. Refs can't count. Due to either stupidity or bribes, the referee ignores each team as they sneak another player on the pitch. Each team may immediately add one player, if able, to their side of the pitch in a wide zone.
What's 2?
2. Don't worry about it. The ref, he's all tied up. He won't be bothering anyone this half. No referees for the rest of the half.
7.
7? That's what I can't even speak Goblin. Oi, what's with this weather?
I did keep that one
Make the weather change. Roll a D8 until it changes. And below there's a little special weather chart, just like the Orclahoma Bowl. That's D8 and stuff.
Anything else pop out at you?
Oh, I like this one. This is Get the Wizards. It appears some Gets have decided to harass the probability wizards. No team or leader rerolls can be used this drive.
Right. So you can still use your skill rerolls, just nothing from the sideline.
That's pretty good. But there's some other little fancy things here, so that's very unique and different.
So
and
again,
it'll be a lot of fun.
Very chaotic. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully a lot of casualties and fouling and hurting people.
I like this event just because going into any Blood Bowl, like kind of a standard tournament, Orclahoma Bowl even, and I know it comes down to the players and stuff, but you can kind of see that the top tier of Tier 1 teams usually do better.
Yeah.
This thing you'd never know.
I don't know.
I mean, seriously, if you had a Goblin team with all your weapons and everything else and maybe hired an extra troll, you might injure enough people or get enough KOs that you could somehow pull out, I'm not saying first, but you could maybe get third or second.
You might.
I mean, you could. It's
2
possible.
or 3 ball and chains on there. You could get 3 ball and chains. You could have a death roller on a dwarf team with a lot of skills.
Yeah, you could. And you get that bribe, so that death roll, you don't even have to pay for a bribe.
And if you roll a 2, you don't need to use a bribe.
That's true, because the ref's gone.
I think until the end of the half, so if you...
Yeah,
if it was like 3 scores that half, you don't have to worry about it.
Right, but yeah, that's true. So, a very unique tournament. I'm very excited, actually, to play in this.
I'm curious to see how it turns out.
I am, too.
Because I've always wanted to do a tournament that focused more on the fouling. And
the chaos of
the whole
blood of the Blood Bowl.
And a lot of this goes to Bling Tooth. You know, the guys up there have been big on doing casualties and stuff like that. So I kind of we're supposed to do something about getting Bling Tooth associated with the tournament, but
we are. Does Bling Tooth want to come down?
Well,
this is the first time I heard about it.
Well, I've been talking back and forth, and
you've been talking with Tristan.
Well, everyone up.
Oh, everybody. You're friends with
everybody.
I talk
with everybody.
Oh.
Because everybody likes me better.
It's because he's changed the password on the email, so I can't get into it. So only he can get it. And then people from strange, far-off lands can send him special dice.
Well, I haven't changed the password.
And postcards. I know you haven't changed the password. I was just acting like you being mean.
You fooled me.
No, you just check the email a lot more than I do.
Goes to my phone.
Oh.
I don't have a choice. It bugs me if I have a notification. I've got to look at it.
You and your fancy email and phone.
Technology.
Technology scares me because I don't understand it. All right. So anything else about Spiky Cup, Steve?
Spiky Cup itself, don't think so. Like I said, we might have a very special prize to give away with that. Something fun and goofy, as you can imagine.
And I think the plan is still, if you play both days, and let's say I play Underworld and I get third place on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, we did have an overall thing, didn't we?
And then on Sunday, if I play Pro Elves and I go second, we're going to take both those combined scores of the people that played both days, and we're going to have an extra little trophy for like an overall thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be that big of a deal, but it is just some extra things to reward the people that are going to play both days.
Yeah, if you go to the website, you'll see the story behind the Black Pelt Duran's Gold Championship Series, which is also
it's all fluff related.
The Both Down Championship Series, BDCS.
We don't really run a tournament without some fluff, at least in our heads, so we can come here and wax our brains.
And then this might be something we carry on to future years in association with Orclahoma, just to have 2 tournaments. Probably won't be Spiky Cup next year. It might be something different. It might be. We don't know.
Just depends on feedback, guys.
Yeah. Most importantly, we run tournaments so people have a good time. If someone's not enjoying it, well, they can go to hell. But if everyone's not enjoying it, then we'll fix it.
I think everybody will actually have a lot of fun. It's different enough that it will change the...
And we give away a lot of prizes so people don't say anything bad about us.
Yeah, we like to bribe people. Hey, we got people coming from Utah. That's
we give
awesome.
Away a figure each round. We give away figures in between rounds. We've got a painted team to give away. We've got a full game of... Oh, yeah, we're getting a Street Bowl pitch to give away.
Right.
I think we're getting a championship field.
Oh, no. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Let's make sure we have it before we say it. But so, yes, if you're building your Spiky Cup, just remember, 6 double skills or 3 normal, because that's where we had a few questions.
Yes. And the weapons are not so secret weapons that you're given.
That's right. So it's good stuff.
Yes. Any other questions, let us know.
All right. You can email us at Orclahoma Bowl
at gmail.com.
That's right. Hey,
or bothdownpodcast at gmail.com.
Yes, that's right. And if you're coming to either event or both events, please send in your rosters by March 2nd so we can approve them and check them. And believe it or not, you might think that you can wait till the last second, but even at Critter Bowl, we had a couple errors on 8 teams. So just...
It happens.
It's natural. Not a big deal. So just get those in.
You'll also get extra raffle tickets. So that's always a good reason to do it.
That's right.
And maybe some extra giveaways.
Yeah.
I have all kinds of stuff.
Steve's going to set up a kissing booth.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We'll get it.
Actually, we should cover that in our next segment.
Okay.
Shout-outs. When we wrap everything up.
But we're not having segments. This is all
Well, we have sort of segments. Pseudo-segments.
This is going to be a pause.
This is a pause for saving.
Oh.
And now we're back with shout-outs.
That was quick.
It's really nice just going straight into things.
You like that? You just like going straight into things, like plowing right into it?
I don't like gay going into things.
Like what?
He said straight.
Oh.
The opposite of straight is gay. Or crooked, but it's more funny.
Or curved?
Well, you were talking sexually.
No,
so
I wasn't.
You were making an innuendo.
No, I was not.
You know, that's what they call an Italian suppository.
What's that?
An innuendo.
Oh,
hey, it goes innuendo.
Well, that's great.
Yep.
All right.
Class comedy.
I apologize for Steve's bad humor. All right. So what do you got here for some shout-outs? The final segment of this unedited but kind of edited podcast.
It's close enough.
You know, everybody's going to be begging for us to edit.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're going to realize that, like, when Johnny did Zlurpcast, how much extra effort he put in when he put in, like, the little sound blurbs and all that stuff, too.
And I'm sure it's one thing, like Johnny always said, it's one thing doing your own, because it's yours, it's got your name on it, and, he had to edit Zlurpcast Tactic Zone, which I can only imagine how...
Just because he wasn't a part of it is kind of more difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult trying to listen for stuff and also listening for quality. And
right. But just like Zlurpcast Tactic Zone, Zlurpcast is gone too. So Johnny doesn't have to worry about this. I'm just teasing you, Johnny.
So things are ending in backwards alphabetical order.
That's right.
So 3 die blocks next.
Oh, boom. Boom. Goes the boom.
Here comes the boys from the south.
What else? I was going to say something before all that.
Well, whatever. I got my first shout out. I am going to be taking the Lizard Man team next year to Chaos Cup.
You're telling everybody right now?
Yeah, I've told them previously.
Okay.
Anyways, it's going to be Chaos team. Not Chaos. It's going to be Lizard Man team to Chaos Cup.
Okay.
And I had already decided that before last year's Chaos Cup.
Yeah. What mutations are you going to take for your skinks? You haven't even thought about that.
I haven't thought about anything yet.
Okay.
Well, my first thought was I should get models. So I got some models, and I asked on the forums to get extra models if anybody wasn't using theirs. And, Extreme was nice enough to send me a whole team, basically, of converted, painted, plastic models. So that's really cool. Because I'm needing things to paint for sideline figures and to mod and just...
And truthfully, you don't know which direction you're going with these, because you have a GW one.
Well, I'm taking the GW team.
Okay.
But I know that for sure.
But you also are trying to gather enough to get, like...
I want sideline figures. And if they're good enough, then I can have, like, Lizard Man / Slan team, sort of.
Oh, okay.
And just,
But you're getting some of the ones from Impact, is what I'm getting at, as well.
What?
Aren't you getting the alligator team or whatever?
Yeah, I ended up buying a Cayman team, and I didn't have all the saltwater crocs, so I'm getting those.
Okay.
But
that's a Lizard Man team.
It is.
I guess you could use them for Slan, too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, that's another one, but I'm definitely taking the GW, just because I like them.
Okay.
I've always wanted them. But anyways, put a call out. Like I said, Extreme was nice enough to send some. And also, Alexander Weiss of Toronto sent one, and it was awesome because I think he goes by Stymie on the forums. And he's like, I've got one if you want it. I'm like, well, if you want to send it, I'll take it. But, I mean, you don't need to spend the money to go from Canada to America. I goes, no, it's cool. I'll do it. So he sent me one Lizard Man skink.
I think it's really cool, though.
It is super awesome. And not only that, since we are a fluff-based podcast, I just want to give a huge shout-out because of the fluff. First off, the package says Steve Kilowatt Campbell, that'd be me, and then it says head coach.
Right.
And...
You said package. You got his package in your hand?
Yeah, it's my package now.
Oh, it's now your package.
Yeah.
But it came from him.
Yeah.
And you're holding it.
But he also sent some dice, which was nice of him, some bling tooth and some hobble dice.
Oh, did he send enough for, like, your co-podcast partner?
He sent me some.
He sent you some.
But he's awesome. Because also he included a postcard.
Stymie. Now, hold on a second. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I was at San Diego Comic-Con. And while we all know that Silent Bob is Kevin Smith, the guy who, did Clerks and the other movies and stuff.
Yeah.
He's signing autographs with Jay Muse, who is just a friend who likes to do a lot of recreational drugs.
Yeah.
A guy walks
pretty
up.
much our relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Without
much.
the drugs. And,
so it's at San Diego Comic-Con before
it,
like, super exploded. I mean, it was always big, but,
back when there were comics.
The last 10 years, it's, like, super exploded into all this movie stuff. But this was mid-90s. A guy walks over and goes, "Oh, gee, so Bob, I love your stuff." And hands Kevin Smith a giant box of comics. "Here, you can have these." Okay? Now, Kevin Smith probably doesn't even, he can buy his own, number one. But Jay Muse, just like I feel like right now, is pissed. And he gets up and he goes, "What the fuck? Why did Silent Bob get all the stuff? Where's some comics for Jay?"
Okay.
So, Stymie, where's some dice for Scott Prime? Where?
Well, the difference
we're
is
a duo.
I asked
we share
for stuff.
We're almost like married.
No.
We're almost.
Almost does not give you bed privileges.
Oh.
Just the couch.
Fine.
But yes,
sadly enough, I've slept on your couch.
That's true. And I was not involved, so. But
I'm just teasing Stymie. Although those hobble dice look pretty awesome.
They are awesome. But since I asked, he sent stuff. And also, he sent a postcard inside of it that was addressed to the only Lizard team at Chaos Cup 2013. And it says, "Here is the poor lonely skink. I hope you will find a good home further south. His name is Sunny, and he likes freshly squeezed rainworm juice for breakfast. How awesome is that?
He didn't have to do that.
He did not have to do that. He could have just dropped it in the post and sent it off.
Say good luck.
But no. And not only that, I mean, even he's got the Canadian NAF or Canadian Spiky football logo on there.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. It's that extra step, just putting a little bit more effort into it, that doesn't just, make your experience better, but it makes everyone's experience better.
So you're a satisfied customer.
I was very happy.
So, Stymie, I miss not getting any hobbled dice, but I would like to say that I'm just kind of giving you a hard time. And number two, just know that Steve, because I know Steve, he will keep that package and that postcard forever. That will one day when he dies, and if I'm still alive from not eating all the McRibs, since I stopped eating those, if I come over and pull him out of his hoarder-type house, that will still be around.
I would like to state that my house is completely organized and not in any way hoarder-like.
I know. People are going to...
But, yes, I do hold on to some things.
But you will hold on to that, won't you?
Well, anything that someone sent us because of the podcast I've kept. We drawings and
So you're saying
letters.
If I need something out there, I should use this medium to voice what I need and see what happens?
I did not use this medium, sir. I used the websites.
Okay, well, how about this?
Now, I do need some black NAF dice.
So do I.
And some of the off-color pink ones.
So do I, but I'm not willing to pay what Steve would. So go to him first.
I wasn't really wanting to pay, but I'll pay.
I'm going to color mine with a magic marker.
I'm not like some other podcasts that
Expect it for
got
free.
theirs. No. James got his, and I want some.
Well, somebody else out there might have them and might really not use them.
I'm sure they do. I saw some on the eBay, and
they looked funky too.
They did not look right.
Yeah, that just happens. Speaking of,
yes,
I am looking for, just in case anybody out there has one sitting around in their box and it's unpainted or painted, I'm actually looking for some second edition ogres. Now, before you reach in your head or in your box or whatever,
do not store Blood Bowl figures in your head.
Okay, before you think in your head and then go to your box and go, I got that. I'll send it to him. I'll see if he'll buy it from me or whatever. I don't want the one that's Morg and Thor with him holding up the spike. That's from second edition ogre.
Isn't that Throger or whatever?
No, that one was the standard one that you see on eBay all the time. Is
the old Morg.
The Morg where he's holding just a one fist up with a spike. There's some other ogres. There's one that's just like standing there with a shaved head. There's one with the spiky hair with his fist out. And then there's another one with his, I believe it's his right arm out with a spike on the end of that. But he's kind of in a different pose. More dynamic than that standard Morg ogre pose. I don't know what their actual miniature number is. But if you have those and you haven't listed it on eBay, because I can never win one, I always get outbid just barely, contact us at bothdownpodcast@gmail.com because I'm looking for one of those at least one of those for a Chaos Pack team. And if you also, Minotaurs are actually hard to find. Yeah. Or it just seems like when I want to look for one, they're hard to find. So, anyways, there's a guy in England, I think it's England, somewhere in Europe, who always has some second edition ogres and Minotaurs up. Yeah. And it's like, how do you have like 50 of these miniatures? So I'm trying to figure out if he's making them out of his basement or if he's actually like a legit guy that has like a bunch of them. I don't know. But I'm too scared to buy them from him.
Oh, okay.
And shipping would be like $25.
Yeah, shipping's a lot.
So anyways, that's my shout out on that.
Oh, yeah. And if you have sent me figures before and I said I'd paint them and show you.
He's lying.
I will paint them. I just haven't got around to it. I will be painting soon. I have to. I have 8 months until the.
Now, are you gonna paint your own Lizard Man team?
Yeah. I'm painting them all.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I've got 8 months until Chaos Cup, so
I gotta decide what I want to play at Chaos Cup if I go.
7 months. Crap.
And get my.
You're
button
going.
gear.
Shut up.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, I know you're going.
I got to play something different, but I don't know what I'm going to play. I'd like to give a shout-out to our friend Abigail over across the pond, as they say. And we wish you the best on your personal journey, and we wish you success and everything you want to do. And Abigail knows exactly what we're talking about. And if anybody else doesn't, tough. Ha, ha. There's a shout out to
keeping secrets from fans.
No, I'm not keeping secrets. Abigail knows who Abigail is. And
I would hope so.
Matters. That's all that matters to her. So there. Boom. Anyways, we love you, and we wish you the best on your journey. So
I don't love anybody.
Steve doesn't love anybody, but I'm the lover of the group. And I would love it if somebody had those ogres from 2nd edition.
Wow, I kept trying to goad you into pony talk.
I'm not doing it.
Wow. Yeah, we got some less than positive feedback about pony episode last month.
Did we? I don't think they hated us.
It wasn't bad. They just gave us a hard time.
I'm not talking about it. I'm not even going to mention that word.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else? Alex FF Fields coming through on the field is awesome.
Kenneth Baker from Rogues Painting.
Tom Anders on Impact.
They're going to supply us. And
hopefully if we hear back.
Yeah, Tom, answer your email. We just sent you a big order for our tournament. Send us. Give us a reply, brother. Anything else?
I've got some cool things to give away at the tournaments.
Well, don't tell them.
But I won't tell anybody yet.
Don't tell them. Oh, I one last thing. Even though I like to give them a lot of crap on here. The guys from Zerkcast, Extreme, he's doing a contest. I don't know if we talked about this last podcast or not. He's doing a thing where it's Pack the Big House. Yes. He has a custom stadium and stuff built for his dwarf team. The 40 Miners, who I hate because they're just a bunch of mutant freaks who eat warp stone and inflate their heads. All joking aside, he's doing a contest. Pack the Big House. You paint a miniature that's a fan of the team or a non-fan of the team, and you send it to him because he's going to just fill his stadium.
Yeah.
I think this is a fantastic idea.
It's an awesome idea.
And I want to steal it eventually. So we're going to wait about 6 to 8 months, and we're going to do something very similar for our league. But what he's doing is as he gets, and I haven't seen I don't know the exact numbers, but let's say 40 people donate, then he will paint a team and there'll be like a raffle for it. Or if 80 people do it or something like
Scott
this.
doesn't know exactly, but you can go to Zlipcast forums.
Right, and it's also on Talk Fantasy Football forums. But as the miniatures donated increase, he will also increase the prizes of star players and stuff like that. So it's a wonderful idea. He's an excellent painter. So if you want anything by him,
he's starting to take commissions at X Painting.
Right. So we want to give a shout out to him. I'm actually going to participate. I'm going to do a orc flag bearer guy that's going to have a naughty saying on his flag because he hates the miners like this ginger badger. And my daughter is actually participating, and she picked out a vampire girl. So I don't know why the vampire girl. Maybe she's my orc's girlfriend.
Sure.
Or
he prefers them to be dwarves, but you know, he'll take whatever he can.
He said come up with a backstory. So I told my daughter that this vampire has to be a fan of the team. So she's like, okay. So
she's a failed cheerleader. She got kicked out because she ate one of them.
Something like that. There's all different,
It's the fun of fluff. Make it as you want.
That's right. So
I'll be participating. I just got to find something to paint.
I might let my 2-year-old, who's going to be 3 years old in a month, paint a miniature. I bought an extra miniature for her to paint, but it's going to be
interesting.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah.
It'll be awful, but I figure I'll let her slop some paint on there. I'll try to fix it up and say that she got in a paintball accident or something. She'd blend into the crowd.
She's a casualty figure.
But so if you would like to participate or have a hobby that dad or mother could do with your father, you could get your father to paint with you, or your daughter or son, it's actually a good idea just to kind of paint some miniatures together. We actually had some good bonding time with that. So anyways, so that's my shout out to Extreme. Pack the big house.
I think it's sell out the big house.
Sell out the big house. Oh, well.
Close enough. Same concept.
I wanted to get a dwarf with a giant action figure head on top of it, like a Barbie doll head, but I'm just going to I'm going to spill my hate through the orc with a naughty saying on his flag.
Makes sense.
Yay. All right. Anything else? We've covered it all?
I think that's it.
We're unedited, bigger, longer, uncut. Is this longer?
It's probably shorter, actually.
Shorter, uncut.
And we'll not make any jokes about that.
We sound like an ad on a bareback page or something. What are the bear people on?
What type of ad would be shorter?
Never mind.
I don't.
I'm going somewhere we shouldn't.
Sounds good.
All right, let's call this one in. Or
call
whatever.
This one in.
Call this one in.
Wow.
Let's call this one done.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
If you want to follow us on Twitter at BothDown or at Kilowog2814.
Or you can follow myself at FatFinley, FATFINLEY. This is Scott Prime and Kilowoggy signing out.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Both Down is a production of Couch Pirate Radio. Please drop by couchpirates.com to hear more of their podcasts.
Boom Goes the Dynamite is the story of a young Ball State freshman who took a job filling in for the regular sportscaster on his campus news and earned himself a place in internet meme history. 19-year-old Brian Collins was a communications major who volunteered to fill in when the usual sports anchor for Ball State's Newslink at 9 canceled.
The Nets won the last Sunday's matchup 94-85, which left the Pacers one game behind the Chicago in the 7th series spot. Let's check out the highlights.
Brian, the nice guy that he is, volunteered to fill in having never actually done a sportscast before. And while he started off good, eventually things go tragically, humiliatingly wrong.
It seems every week that you have a player.
He mumbles.
Oh no.
Stumbles.
The Indiana Pacers are looking for a measure of revenge tonight.
And seems to mouth the words, "I'm so sorry." And at one point tries ever so hard to reclaim his confidence with a half-hearted delivery of the iconic catchphrase that would soon catapult this video into internet history.
Later he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
While undoubtedly mortifying at the time, Brian probably had no idea what was soon to come.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for that look into sports, Brian.
Yeah.
The clip was posted to the controversial internet website, eBaum's World, and soon it was being passed around through email links and forums worldwide. But like all good stories, Brian Collins' mortifying experience caught the attention of the real-world media, cementing his certification as internet gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Brian Collins.
Here he is, Brian. Boom goes the dynamite Collins. Hey, tell me, where did the catchphrase come from?
College people like to have fun and things, and one thing that we do is we have Mario Kart tournaments. Part of that is you create catchphrases. Later he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Meanwhile, the world caught on, making Boom Goes the Dynamite a regular catchphrase.
Boom goes the dynamite!
Oh, boom goes the dynamite!
Boom goes the dynamite!
Even Hollywood picked up on it, with mentions on the television programs Family Guy and Veronica Mars.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Support came from everywhere, including ESPN SportsCenter anchor Scott Van Pelt, who sent an email to Collins reassuring him, "If this is the worst thing that ever happens to you, life will be good." Van Pelt went on to adopt Boom Goes the Dynamite into his own repertoire, and Brian, well, he overcame his initial experience to become the Ball State Newslink at 9 weatherman. In the spring of 2008, Brian graduated from Ball State with his communications degree and moved to Waco, Texas, where he now reports for ABC affiliate KXXV. In an interview about the experience, Brian once said, quote, "The one thing I was proud of, I didn't just get up and walk out. I didn't die. I took it until the end." We should all be so strong, because in the end, all dynamite goes boom.
Will be the game 3 at 3 p.m. Switching to Ball State men's tennis, it seems every week that you have a player. The Indiana Pacers are looking for a measure of revenge tonight and ended up doing poorly. Oh no.